It's a deep, I don't really know. How about that?
Right.
One thing I don't know is that my sister never tells me our personal relationship business. But what I know is I left y'all last night. We went to Brooklyn Chop House. She treated 10 grown men to dinner. And I woke up in the morning and my phone was going crazy. And they was like, yo, look what's going on. I'm like, what the?
How do you manage that between your bro and your sis?
I don't even know how to manage that well. Yeah, this is a hard situation because of him, she made me love him. You know what I'm saying? So I really love him. You know what I'm saying? That's my goddaughter's father. It's a whole bunch of, I'm like I try to tell you, I'm old school morals and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like with me, it's like, damn, like I'm the godfather. These people pass away, I raised the baby. I don't like none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't like none of that shit. I can't do is stop.
Like, she talks about it all the time. Like, she's like, I'm gonna wear this. And my next birthday, we're gonna wear the same thing. I'm like,
Papoose reprimanded Fat Joe in a recent interview for his role in the current conflict between him and Remy Ma. He was obviously on Remy's side, even if he didn't want to take sides in public. Papoose even told Fat Joe to stay away from his family and disregard them. He and Remy have been teasing each other on social media for the last few weeks. At first, it seemed like Remy was the one causing the problems. After Remy allegedly saw Papoose dozing off with his phone in his hand while speaking to his new girlfriend, professional boxer Claressa Shields, the situation intensified. Claressa then revealed more receipts that demonstrated Papoose and his new partner's mistreatment of her. Remy allegedly took screenshots of her and Papoose's texts after they began making fun of one another. According to Claressa, Papoose fell asleep while speaking to her on the phone at her home. She continued by saying that he got angry and wouldn't go when he heard her voice. Papoose received an SMS from Claressa asking him to accept responsibility. Given that he had previously been married, their relationship appeared serious since she expected simple gestures from him, such as telling her that he arrived home safely or striking up a conversation after a hard day. Remy said in an Instagram post that Claressa and her publicity team were fabricating tales every day to discredit her. She implored Papoose to stop the story and accused Claressa of defaming her in the media. But Papoose maintained that the wisest course of action was to remain silent. Claressa said she felt exhausted by the circumstances. Despite her claims that Papoose would never date her because he thought she was ugly, he persisted in involving her in the drama. She also voiced worries about the impending documentary on herself, claiming that being called a spouse snatcher would damage her reputation. Before her PR team saw the texts, Claressa texted Papoose pleading with him to take immediate action. She wrote that she wanted gifts, flowers, and some alone time, but she also felt foolish for being sentimental. She acknowledged feeling conflicted. When Remy confronted Claressa directly and accused her of manipulating Papoose, the conflict escalated. Reportedly, Remy took pictures of Claressa and Papoose's conversations, accusing him of holding her down and penning her poems while she was away. Remy had known Papoose since her imprisonment in 2008. Apparently, he attempted to use another lady to undermine her, even going so far as to have her arrested. Remy and Papoose's relationship was tricky because they got married over the phone in 2015 while she was in prison. They later reaffirmed their vows and went on to become one of the most well-known couples in hip-hop. While Papoose and Remy publicly discussed their differences, Claressa's involvement increased the tension and fueled the ongoing controversy on social media. Remy Ma addressed Claressa Shields on her Instagram stories, pointing out the ridiculousness of someone balancing several relationships while causing strife with others. She reprimanded Papoose for considering him and questioned why Claressa was tagging her if she wasn't the only one participating.
I don't really know. How about that?
Right.
One thing I don't know is that my sister never tells me our personal relationship business. But what I know is I left y'all last night. We went to Brooklyn Chop House. She treated 10 grown men to dinner. And I woke up in the morning and my phone was going crazy. And they was like, yo, look what's going on. I'm like, what the?
How do you manage that between your bro and your sis?
I don't even know how to manage that well. Yeah, this is a hard situation because of him, she made me love him. You know what I'm saying? So really love him. You know what I'm saying? That's my goddaughter's father. So a whole bunch of, I'm like I try to tell you, I'm old school morals and shit. You know what I'm saying? So like with me, it's like, damn, like I'm the godfather. These people passed away, I raised the baby. I don't like none of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Self as the prize, a recipient as opposed to a donor, Remy underlined that she is not an enemy, but rather a morally upright lady who is devoted to relationships, just as she was in her marriage. She claimed to be truly content and successful, which is perhaps why Clarissa felt intimidated. Remy also criticized Clarissa for appearing stupid, even though she insisted otherwise. Remy wasn't holding back, but some thought she went too far by implying that despite Clarissa's skill as a boxer, she wouldn't dare challenge her physically. Remy also brought up Papoose's alleged fabrication of a narrative about knocking someone out, namely her new boyfriend, Easy, the block captain. Remy claims that Easy was involved in a new rap project she started, which made Papoose envious because it seemed like she gave him more importance than Papoose. Following an altercation between Papoose and Easy, Remy asserted that Papoose attempted to use the internet as a dirty trick, extorting money and discussing personal issues in public. According to Remy, Papoose even texted Easy, implying that he had hired someone to set him up. She denounced this behavior as hazardous and petty, possibly endangering her life. As the turmoil intensified, Papoose allegedly changed the story, portraying Remy as the toxic one and accusing her of being unfaithful and a horrible mother. He said that rather than appropriately resolving their problems, she behaved like a narcissistic victim, controlling social media to gain attention. Papoose insisted that Remy was manufacturing communications to support adultery and false claims, and he denied attempting to have anyone jailed. In response to allegations of a Christmas incident, Papoose claimed that Remy had lied about what had happened to him, their daughter, and her new partner. He claimed that Remy tried to sway public opinion by urging him to make up stories to support her while upholding the truth. He charged her with pressuring him and protecting her reputation by using their child, social media, and family ties. He described her behavior as manipulative, egotistical, and dishonest, saying she attempted to keep him apart from family members in order to keep control. In the end, Remy charged Papoose with dishonesty, manipulation, and emotional games, emphasizing his attempts to control the story, incite conflict, and influence people around him. She depicted a tense situation in which both sides were caught up in a vicious circle of allegations, public humiliation, and personal grudges. She stressed that all of her loved ones, including her adored daughter, are aware of how well she takes care of her family. She emphasized that she is a devoted mother and cautioned against depicting her as someone who, while having previously backed Papoose, put up with the lies that were published about her. She also emphasized how he had purposefully alienated and unnerved several acquaintances and family members. In a recent interview, Fat Joe, who has become close to her kid and acts as a big brother figure, shared his thoughts. He clarified that his deep connection to Remy was the reason behind his admiration for Papoose, popularly known as Capo. Remy even views Fat Joe as her baby godfather despite their intimate relationship. He said that he was unable to fully support one side because he didn't want to meddle in their private matters. Nevertheless, it was clear that he tended to criticize Papoose. The drama between Remy Ma and Papoose has reached almost cinematic heights in recent weeks, weaving together old grudges, current disputes, and social media discoveries into a complex web. Papoose, who is at the heart of this maelstrom, is said to have voiced his concerns to Fat Joe in a private conversation because he was unhappy with his personal life, especially his weight and appearance. Although it appeared to be a straightforward conversation between friends and coworkers, there was much more going on beneath the surface. Remy Ma's longtime friend and confidant, Fat Joe, allegedly had some residual animosity for Papoose. This was more than just a passing irritation. According to some reports, Papoose's alleged mistreatment of Remy over the years is the reason behind Fat Joe's displeasure. Fat Joe has been cautious about what he discloses in private conversations, but he often expresses annoyance at Papoose's actions. Fat Joe was not at all understanding when Papoose confided in him about his complaints. However, Remy Ma hasn't hesitated to use the Instagram narrative. Over the years, she publicly described her experiences with alleged gaslighting and sporadic abuse at the hands of Papoose. Her Instagram stories depicted a constant conflict, including altercations that got so bad that the police had to step in. On one occasion, staffers allegedly called the police to defuse a heated argument in a garage. The main platform for this ongoing dispute is social media. Remy Ma has used her platform to document what she claims is Papoose's deceptive actions, in addition to sharing highlights from her career. Online videos and audio samples reveal that the couple's arguments were anything but private. almost real-time footage of arguments, financial conflicts, and personal grievances has been made available to fans. Remy gave the example of an unfinished pool restoration, which caused stress during a subsequent altercation. Every post, video, and narrative has the potential to spark further conflict due to the combination of personal complaints and public exposure. Social media does more than merely record the drama. It intensifies it, giving spectators and supporters a sense of immediacy and intensity that few interpersonal conflicts ever attain. The role that Fat Joe plays in this story is really intriguing. He is in a precarious position because he is close to both Papoose and Remy Ma. He has a personal and professional relationship with Remy Ma. On one hand, he has frequently supported her and is regarded as the godfather of her child. But he is also Papoose's friend and associate, which makes neutrality challenging. Fat Joe acknowledged in a recent interview that he made an effort to maintain objectivity and refrain from publicly choosing sides. Despite this, he frequently made subtle criticisms of Papoose in his remarks, especially when it came to how he handled Remy. Fat Joe admitted that he had formally respected Papoose, but implied that the rapper's present behavior was troubling. Despite his attempts to appear impartial, many fans saw this as Fat Joe favoring Remy's viewpoint. Remy Ma and Papoose are embroiled in heated and intensely personal accusations. Over an extended period of time, Remy has accused Papoose of lies and manipulation, including gaslighting and domineering conduct. On his side, Papoose has refuted a number of the accusations, while portraying Remy as emotional and occasionally unjust in her public reactions. Claims that Papoose had made up allegations about physical altercations were among the most prominent sources of dispute. Remy claims that these tales were intended to discredit her while absolving him of any accountability. In response, Papoose accused Remy of acting narcissistically and manipulating public opinion on social media. There has been constant back and forth between the two, with each side offering proof, screenshots, and testimonies to support their own accounts of what happened. A complex web of interpersonal connections and social factors underlies the personal drama. Public opinion is greatly influenced by individuals with long-standing connections to both parties, such as Fat Joe. Friends, family, and co-workers are often used as collateral in these disputes, torn between public scrutiny, personal convictions, and allegiance. Remy Ma has publicly denounced Papoose for alienating friends and family, depicting him as someone who damages relationships in order to keep power. In response, Papoose has accused Remy of trying to use social media and their child as leverage to control social situations for her benefit. As a result, every interaction, public or private, carries weight and potential repercussions in a high-stakes environment. The ongoing issue has prompted rapid reactions from fans and media sources. Social media users have argued over who was at fault, often choosing sides based on incomplete information or prejudice. The narrative has been fed by headlines that emphasize toxic behavior or manipulation, further polarizing the discussion. Screenshots of texts, Instagram stories, and clips of arguments have emerged as the main internet debate topics, offering outsiders a front-row ticket to what was once private marital strife. Many supporters have expressed their disappointment with the feud's public aspect, claiming that voicing complaints in such a prominent manner only makes the issue worse. Others defend both Remy and Papoose, pointing out that the instability of their relationship was caused by the pressures of celebrity, scrutiny, and public expectations. The long history of both parties, the influence of social media, and the complex interpersonal dynamics at work should all be considered when assessing this drama. Remy Ma and Papoose do not exist in a vacuum. Fans, co-workers, friends, and family are all impacted by what they do. Even though many behaviors might seem severe or exaggerated, they are in fact the result of real events, emotions, and long-standing frustrations. The layers of complexity are added by the involvement of third parties, such as Fat Joe. His attempts to retain neutrality show the challenge of doing so when interpersonal relationships collide with public and professional obligations. The whole story is a warning about the relationship between social media, celebrity, and individual responsibility.